Giving you story after story, everything is true. Some things are kinda scary, so what you gonna do? Cause that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes we spit scripture, line upon line, not discussing wickedness, but what is divine. And that's
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tales from the Sipp, episode 59. Yes, sir. Yeah, got a good one for you today. Yeah, this a time when I was accused of multiple felonies just by having the name that I had. Yeah, I'm gonna actually tell you what my name was before I changed it to the name I have now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Better not tell nobody. So I don't go by that name no more. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, this took place when I was around 25 years old. Yeah, when I was around 25 years old, man. I didn't have the name that I have now. I changed my name. And I am glad I did. Because don't nobody have the name I got. Unless I have a son, I probably wouldn't give him my first name anyway. You know what I'm saying? I probably would call his, Hundo, I probably give him his middle name. Want children to have their own identity. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so this happened when I was about 25 years old. Me and my brother, we were riding. We were sitting there chilling, man. And you know what I'm saying? At the time, he was living out in North Jackson. When he was living out in North Jackson, I was sitting over there. We were sitting around, chilling, drinking beer, chilling. Excuse me. So I'm sitting over there. He had in the apartments he lived at, it was kind of in the hood, you know what I'm saying? So, old girl, he had ended up calling the females we grew up with, and you know what I'm saying, say, hey, come on, let's kick it. You know what I'm talking about? And I was all with that. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was kind of stupid. But anyway, so he called them over there. And you know the craziest thing about it, the man had, you know, had already had baby mama and she was sitting in the house. She didn't know what, what was going on, you know what I'm saying? But he called them and they came through. We met them out there by the street and got in the truck with them. She had an SUV. So, boom, they came up, pulled up to the, to the street. We got in the truck with them. We started to ride. We were just riding around, you know, bending blocks, you know what I'm saying? Drinking our little, you know what I'm saying? I was drinking Budweiser, you know. But we were riding and stuff. We in the car, back there. I was back there doing something, crazy stuff. But anyway, and he was in the front seat. He was in the front seat, and her friend, which was, like I say, we grew up these two females, and she was driving. He was in the front seat, but both of us was in the back seat. So, you know, we didn't do nothing X-rated now. Just come on now. Trying to live for the most high, man. Use your imagination. Well, it wasn't too it was kind of X-rated. But anyway, so we just riding and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, chilling. And then, man, the police fooled around and got behind us, man. They just pulled over. But see, old girl, I'm gonna be real. She had money. Her people had money. She was driving a brand new SUV. What was the name of that thing? I can't remember the name of it, but it was one of them. It was brand new at the time. You know what I'm saying? And then it had that Rankin County tag. We in Hines County, so they wondering why this vehicle keeps circling around here. Normally, when you see a Rankin County tag in Jackson, I'm gonna tell you how they think. When you see a Rankin County tag in Jackson, people keep riding, going back and forth, going to different places, and you know what I'm saying? They in that same area. See, a lot of police see that and say, "Oh, they over there trying to buy some drugs." You know what I'm saying? Over there trying to buy some weed or something. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't what we were doing. They was, over there. We just having a little fun. But the thing is, police got us down. You know what I'm saying? Pulled us over. And guess where they pulled us over at? Right there in front of the apartments when we were circling through, kept circling around and through there, you know what I'm saying? And we should have been gone, somewhere else. You get my point. I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, they pulled us out the truck, man. And then I'm gonna tell you, this is why. See, at that time, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. See, I used to have a different kind of accent than I do now. I talk real country, man, and I love it. I made myself speak the way I do now because I used to speak kind of proper and what they call proper. I don't know the terminology to tell you, but then people used to think I wasn't from. They used to think I wasn't from here because I used to try to. It's just the way my mother taught me how to speak. When I said was, she said no, don't say was. She said say was, and I mean that's how she taught me when she teaching me how to talk. Don't say you don't verbalize your things like that. That's how my mother was. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if she did with everybody, but she did that with me. I'm just being real. So I used to speak things in a, kind of proper, you know what I'm saying? And people used to always ask me, man, where you from, man? You from New York? You from Cali? No, nigga, excuse my language. I know, man. I'm from the Sipp, man. What you talking about, man? So this is this is why I changed my way of speaking. Then, but this is not when it really happened. So let's keep going. So they got my brother out the car, got me out the car, told the female, hey, y'all can go head on. But he, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, where you from? See, I used to wear braids and stuff. This was, you know what I'm saying? I used to wear all them braids and stuff, man. And the way I used to speak, man, they're like, hey man, where you from, man? I said, man, I'm from I'm from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? I didn't say it like that. I talk like that now. But anyway, so he said, man, oh, we got you for uh, two murder charges. You got two murder charges and a bank robbery in California. I said, huh? Man, what the is you talking about, bro? I said, man, I ain't never been to California. Hey, you look like one of them California niggas. You talk like them too, nigga. That's how the police were talking to you back then. You know what I'm saying? In that time, you know what I'm saying? And so they were early 2000s. But anyway, I said, man, please, man, I'm from Rankin County, man. I'm from he said, yeah, all right. They let my brother go and took me to jail. Man, do you know them folks had me on they had took me down there just because my name was, y'all block this out your mind after you hear this. Just because my name was one the Carlos Hill, they took me down there. Didn't check no social security number, but they told me, man, oh, bro, we you got a warrant in California for, you know what I'm saying, for bank robbery and killing and 2 murder charges. I said, man, y'all got me messed up, man. Y'all better, hey. And I'm like, man, hey, man, run my social security number, man. Come to find out, officer showed me. It was like four or five people had the same name I had. Same name. Everybody with the name that I had before I changed my name back in 2011, they were all violent criminals. They were violent. I mean, savage. You know what I'm saying? If they would, if it, they all, it was either, it wasn't, if they didn't have no murder charges or bank robbery, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Armed robberies and, you know, all kind of stuff, man. I'm like, hey, man. So when they finally ran my social security number hours later, they let me out, then take me back to where they got me, even though it wasn't me. But they just let me out, and I had to walk from downtown jail to up to, you know, the street. I walked up the street and out and just, man, thank the Most High. My nephew was coming through there. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. He was coming through there at the time. He was at the store for some reason, and I was able to catch a ride with him. Get away from over there, man. But yeah, that's why I changed my name later on, which I won't do that anyway. But everybody that has that name, they criminals, man. And I'm talking about violent criminals. I don't know why did they name me that when I was younger? I hated that name. Yeah, so that's why my name is Hundo Olatunde now. Yeah, I wasn't born with it, but I gave myself that name. Yes, sir. Moral of the story is, hey, sometimes you got to change things, man. You got to change things up. That's why, you know, I had been to college and all that, man. I used to speak with, you know, I sometimes I actually made myself start talking country like I do now. You may not believe it, but anybody that grew up with me will tell you the same thing. I didn't talk like I do now, or I didn't speak as I do at this moment. I spoke in a different lingo and a whole nother vernacular at the time. But now I you know, I had to sound like I'm from Sipp, man. But yeah, that's why I changed my name. That's why I talk so country. You can talk about me all you want, but I don't nobody sit up here and say, man, this dude ain't from Mississippi. Man, the way he talk, then had that old bull crap name. No black person need that name, no way. And then, you know, that name, yeah, I had to get rid of that, man. They were finna, man, you know they could have gave me that was capital murder. When you commit a crime, when you kill somebody and rob them, that is capital. That means death sentence. You know the situation I was in? And it happened to me multiple times. I'm just telling you about one. So what would you do? You gonna keep that name somebody gave you or have to deal with it the rest of your life? I even worked with a dude. Me and him had the same name. He from California. And guess what? The man ended up, they got him. He had a situation. But yeah, about that dope though. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Tales from the Sipp, episode 59. Be on the lookout for episode 60. I'm gonna have to do something special for episode 60. Yes, sir. But until next time, it's Hundo Olatunde. Peace out.
That's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes your boy may go way back in the day, talk about experiences and the games that he played. And that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Hey.